right, back out on trail this weekend, back out in the Chippewa National Forest on a forest road that has only been driven by snowmobiles, it looks like, recently. So it is not easy to get down this road, as anybody who's drove down a road packed down by snowmobiles would know. But I'm heading to an island campsite, and it seems to be, I'm starting to find more of these island campsites in the Chippewa, so they're getting to be kind of fun to get to and fun to camp at. But this weekend it's supposed to be roughly 40 degrees. Like right now it's about 40 degrees out right now, and but it's gonna be real mild out. So I've got the hot tent, but we'll see how much hot tenting I do with the stove, because like I said, it is very mild out here. But it should be a good time out here in the Chippewa once I get to the lake. Hopefully I make it to that lake without getting stuck, because this road is extremely sketchy. Check back in later. All right, made it to camp. This is a gorgeous little island site full of white pines, red pines, my favorite trees. So this is a gorgeous island, and I think I'm setting up my hot tent right in that nice open dry spot on the pine needles there. And I got the fire pit right there behind me. So this is a gorgeous site. This lake has 3 other campsites on 2 other islands. This lake actually only has 3 islands, but every island has a campsite, and the bigger island has 2 campsites. So, but I kind of like this island more than the rest, just because it's a little more small and secluded. And like I said, I love all the white and red pines. Just the trees here are gorgeous. So I'm gonna get to work and get this hot tent set up, and maybe do some exploring later on. I'll check back in later. All right, tent all set up. Got the stove in there, ready to go. I didn't know how the wood situation out here was gonna be with all the snow and with all the melting snow. I assumed all the wood was gonna be wet, and it kind of mostly is everywhere. So I did bring some bundles of wood with me just in case. So I think I'm gonna head back to the truck, grab my bundles of wood. I'll probably only use like a bundle of wood in my tent all night, but I might just have a fire out here at the fire pit then with the rest of the wood. But I think I'm gonna go with that firewood, and I will be right back. All right, I've got pretty much the wood I want chopped for inside my tent for tonight. The pile doesn't really look all that big, but it's also going to be 35 degrees tonight, so I don't plan on using my stove all that much. But the wood I have piled up right here is all really hard wood. Like, this is the stuff that will burn for hours. So that is my tent wood. This is kind of going to get things started to cook me up some lunch on my stove real quick here. And I think I'll cut maybe a couple more just to be safe. But like I said, I'm not going to need much wood for the hot tent tonight because it's not going to be very cold tonight. But I do want something just to take the chill off, and something to cook on, and something to boil water. So like I said, this is my hardwood pile, softer wood pile. I'm gonna cut a few more logs and call it good. Get some lunch. All right, I'm all set up in the hot tent, kind of just hanging out inside the hot tent with the door open. It's pretty nice. Like it says 45 degrees outside and it's 58 degrees inside. So it's just nice kind of hanging out in here. I've got the stove going. I've been cooking some food. I think I'll probably watch some stuff on my phone, just kind of hang out in here for a little bit. It's just nice to have the door open and looking out at the lake with the stove going, keep it nice and warm in here. So it's a good time out here. This is my first solo time with my hot tent here. So the first time I used this was at the hot tent hoedown, and you don't really get a whole lot of hot tent time aside from when you go to bed. But now that I'm out here by myself, it's kind of nice to have the hot tent all to myself and spend some time in here and kind of get things right the way I want it. So like I said, I'm just going to hang out in here a little bit longer, stare at the lake, and then maybe I'll have a fire or something a little bit later out there at the fire pit. All right, I am back in my tent. I went outside and kind of chopped some more wood for the hot tent because the winds outside are 10 to 15 miles an hour roughly, and they're gusting up to like 20, it says on the weather channel, and it feels like it's gusting up to about 20. So I just wasn't feeling a fire at the fire pit. I just wasn't going to stay warm at a fire pit. It's just, I'm warm in here. I'm happy in here. There's no reason to have a fire out at the fire pit. So I am gonna chill out in here the rest of the night. I got a backpacking meal I'm gonna make for dinner, so I'm gonna have that. And other than that, I'm gonna turn in early tonight because I am gonna get up early and probably be out of here before light. So I'm probably gonna call it from this point on. This is gonna be the trip. It's been really cool out here. It's been really very remote. I haven't seen anybody out here all day. I kind of expected to see snowmobilers or some people coming out to ice fish, but nobody all day. So it's been pretty nice to be out here all by myself out here on this lake. Like I said, I'm just gonna hang out the rest of the night, go to bed early, wake up early, and be out of here. Catch me on the next one.